on table a proposal to borrow up to special drawing rights.
Government has tabled before Parliament 2 more loan requests of about 1.7 trillion shillings. This comes just a few days after the House cleared the Finance Ministry to borrow 1.7 trillion shillings from Standard Chartered Bank and other international lenders to support the development and infrastructure budget for the 2022-23 financial year. In the new loan request, about 1.2 trillion shillings is intended to fund the project to increase electricity access countrywide, while the second tranche, worth 522 billion shillings, is for the acceleration of the digital project.
The previous loan was for Minister of Energy. The previous one. This is for NTVNews.
Some of the MPs who support the new loan request say that it is within the parameters of the 48 trillion shillings Parliament appropriated as the budget estimate for the 2022-23 financial year.
The Ministry of Finance is not committing any crime. They are just doing what we had told them to do. That in this budget of 48.1 trillion, a certain component of the funding gap will be met by going to the market and borrow money.
Out of the 48 trillion national budget, government expects to raise 25 trillion shillings through tax and non-tax revenue collected by the Uganda Revenue Authority. Uganda's total debt stock now stands at 73 trillion shillings, which raises jitters whenever there are more requests by the government to borrow. However, the legislators who are ready to approve the loan request argue that any entity or government that needs to do big projects cannot avoid credit.
Uganda is like a business entity. There is no business that can run away from acquiring facilities to prosper its growth. You first invest and then you reap from the investment.
The money is going on infrastructure. NRM promised electricity. I need electricity in Paddy. Schools don't have electricity, hospitals don't have electricity, we need electricity. The roads are in their condition. Like, we have poor roads, and then the government says we don't have money. Why should I stop the government from borrowing the money?
However, other lawmakers insist that greater attention should be put on proper utilization of the borrowed money through good planning and timely execution of projects.
The biggest problem is we have indiscipline. We steal our money in the country with impunity. Say, for instance, you saw the World Bank report, you saw the report from the IGG. We steal here in Uganda over 1 trillion shillings per year. We steal. Now, if this money was going to the roads, was going to buy drugs, was going to build health centers, was going to schools, it would boost our sectors very well.
Unlike the 1.7 trillion commercial loan the MPs approved on 2nd November 2022 to be borrowed at 5.2% per annum, the new request is for a concessional loan from the World Bank Group, which comes with a low interest rate, longer repayment period, and nearly 50% grant on the sum borrowed.
Normally, they are tagged to human rights performance, they are tagged to governance, they are tagged to non-interference of neighboring states. So if you find that those conditions are tough, normally the lazy ones in government will always say, let's get the money locally here.
The Finance Minister and top technocrats are expected to appear before the Parliamentary Committee on National Economy on Tuesday next week to give the justification for the new loan request. Jackson Onyango, NTV.